Hi students, today I am going to explain the lesson water, very important lesson in chemistry. Here look at the pictures above. They gave big pictures showing stream with clean fresh water and the smaller pictures showing what is the difference between these. This is dirty water and this is very clean water. Let's see. So why water is necessary for us? Water is essential for our life. For human beings, animals, all these need clean water to drink and wash. So all our life processes such as circulation, digestion, all are not possible without water. Plants also even need water to carry out photosynthesis. Without water, it will dry up. Yes, no. So in the presence of sunlight, chlorophyll, green plants, and using carbon dioxide, it will perform the photosynthesis process. So water is very important to do that. So just imagine if there is no water, what happens? We know that without water we cannot survive. Yes, no. So what are the uses of water? So if we see the uses of water, it is used for domestic purpose. What is domestic? Means daily life, day-to-day life. We used to drink, cook, bath, wash clothes, wash vessels, etc. Even the pets, other domestic animals also need water to drink. Even the plants, we water the plants. And in agriculture mainly, farmers grow crops such as food grains, vegetables and all these. Water is needed. In animal farming also, water is needed. In cattle, poultry, sheep and rearing on animal farms, all this water is needed for feeding them and also for washing them. If for even in industries, water is used for washing and dissolving the substances, and it is very important ingredient for the products such as bottled water, cool drinks, juices, sauces, medicines and even tonics. So then we can see here food, paper, chemical, petroleum industry, in all these industries water is needed. Even to generate current, electricity. So falling water has a great force. This force is used to convert the water into electricity. So through the blades of turbines, and it will generate hydroelectricity. Because the current is produced by water, it is called hydroelectricity. So in thermal power plants also, water is boiled in high stream pressure produced in turbines, and it will produce electricity. Then in transportation, large quantities of goods such as food grains, petrol, vehicles, all these are transported by cargo ships. This is a very cheapest method of transport. Even rivers, lakes are useful for transporting people and goods. So recreation. So we all know it is very happy to play in water, right? In parks and picnic areas we see, besides scenic lakes and waterfalls, water sports. So all this needs water. Even our human body, 60% of our body is made up of water. So why we want water? Because to body temperature should be regulated by sweating and respiration. The food we eat is broken down and transported by water in blood. Even waste materials are flushed out in urine, which is mostly water. Even physical shock to the organs, unborn babies inside the stomach, is also reduced by water. So we have to drink more water. Means at least 8 to 10 glasses per day. So even we also get water from the food we eat and from liquids such as milk, juice, we'll get. So how the water is distributed on earth? We see that 70% of our earth is covered by water only. So, and of this 97.4% in the oceans and seas, means 97.4% is salt water, and remaining 2.6% is fresh water. In this 2.6%, again 1 point is frozen ice caps, 1.8% is frozen ice caps, and glaciers. So 0.8% is available for us to use. Only 0.78, this yellow color part is available for us. Then from where we'll get water? What are the main sources of water? So surface water. So all water bodies on the surface of water. Surface water means like oceans, seas, rivers and lakes. All these are part of surface water. Oceans and seas have high content of salt. They are salt water, so we cannot use them. So, and rivers and lakes will have fresh water. We can use it. right? Then groundwater. So what is groundwater? When the rain comes, rainwater, what happens? It percolates. Percolates means it will go down to the many layers of the soil, and it is collected in the underground layers of the rock, permeable rock called aquifers inside the earth. So water cannot evaporate easily there, and the water will be below the surface of the earth. So it is called groundwater. The water we see in a well, we see water in a well is groundwater only. Sometimes the groundwater comes out to the surface through an opening called spring. Then, what is water cycle? So, you'll be very surprised to know that every drop of water has been here since the time earth is formed. When the earth is formed, how much water is there? That much water is there up to now only. Even one drop of water is not less. How it is possible? The water in a river may have been found in ocean earlier. How? The water in your well may be in snow caps before. How? Because of the water cycle. We will know this. What is water cycle? It is a process by which water is in a constant movement between land, water source and air. Means water will be like a cycle. It will be rotating constantly, means continuously between land, water source and air. So how it is possible? It is possible by 4 steps. Evaporation, condensation, precipitation and collection. So first we will see what is evaporation. Because of sun's heat, what happens? The surface of the water, all in ponds, lakes and rivers, all get evaporates because of heat and constantly evaporates in the atmosphere. During evaporation, what happens? Water will change into vapor. We know that water, when we boil, it will become vapor. Like the same. Even the plants also give out water vapor during transpiration. So like this, because of evaporation, water will go in the sky. Then what happens? Condensation next. Since water vapor is lighter than air, water vapor is very light than air, it rises up in the air. It will rise us up in the air. It reaches the height where the temperature is very low, and it condenses into small droplets of water which join together to form clouds. Then what happens? The droplets of water join, all these water droplets will join to form big drops of water. When these drops become very big enough, it will become very heavy. When it is light, it will stay there only. But when it becomes very heavy, it can't stay there. It will, so they will fall on the earth as a precipitation. Precipitation is nothing but rain. Yes, no? This precipitation can happen over, the rain may fall on land or in water forms also, like rain, snow and hail. Then what happens after rain falls? Rainwater will get collect on the earth in different ways. How? Rain falls accumulates in lakes and ponds. It also falls in seas and ocean. If the soil is porous, if the soil have pores means small holes, it will enter into the layers of the soil and collect as groundwater. When rain falls on the mountains, it runs off. Runs off as rivers and again flow into sea. Snow accumulates in winter on mountain tops. It melts in summer and it also will feed into the river. Like this, the water will change. So first what happens? Because of the sun, evaporation takes place and it will collect as because of condensation, it will rise up and collect into small droplets of water as form of clouds. And when the clouds become heavy enough, it precipitate rain. Yes, no? So it will precipitate and collection will takes place here. So see here, percolation takes place and runoff like this. Again the water will reach. Again it will continue. Like this will take. We will see. Next, water purification process. Why we have to purify the water? We get water from wells in our house. In some cases tube wells, bore wells are sunk in the ground to draw groundwater. So what happens? However, surface water from rivers and lakes has to be brought to us. The water should be cleaned, pumped in the waterworks and then supplied to the pipes by the water supply board. So the water supply board will supply us very clean water. So this clean water used for drinking and cooking is called potable water. What is potable water? the clean water which we use for drinking and cooking. So this cleaning process, again, it has steps. What are they? Screening, sedimentation, filtration, chlorination, and supply to home. Let's see. First, screening. So the water from the lakes and rivers is passed through screens so that it will remove all the large impurities such as stones and leaves. After that, it will be allowed to sediment. What is sediment? We just allow it without any disturbing it, stand still, so that heavy insoluble particles will settle at the bottom. So, and we can remove the suspended impurities. After that, filtration. We know how to filter. Water is then filtered through sand beds to remove all the insoluble particles. Then chlorine. Next, chlorine is added to remove the germs, to kill the germs, and it is ready to supply. So what are the 4 steps, children? Screening, sedimentation, filtration, chlorination. Screening, big impurities, large impurities are removed. Sedimentation, heavy insoluble particles are settled down. After that, it is removed by filtration. Then germs are killed by chlorination. Then at home, what we have to do? The water we get at home again may have dirt and germs. So while using, what we have to do? We again should filter it. This method is used to insoluble impurities. So when we pass dirty water through a filter such as thin cloth, we can use a thin cloth to remove. So all the insoluble impurities may go, or we can use purifiers. Now so many homes have purifiers that remove salt and built-in filters to clean the water, or we can just boil the water for about 2 minutes so that all the germs will be killed. Even chlorine is added in small amounts to kill the germs. The best is boiling. Next, what are the properties of water? We know that pure water don't have any color, it don't have any taste, or it don't have any smell. So however, we drink or sometimes have little different taste at different places. Yes, no? Why? Because of minerals present in that. So Henry Cavendish discovered that water is made of molecules that are made of hydrogen and oxygen. We know that water, what is the chemical formula of water? H2O. It contains hydrogen and oxygen. In 1811, Amedeo Avogadro, an Italian physicist, found that each molecule of water contains 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. So, and what are the 3 states of water? We know that ice, water vapor, and liquid state of water. Right? Water exists in 3 states like ice in solid state, liquid state water, gaseous state water vapor. So it is available in all the 3 states in nature, like in Himalayas, polar caps, mountains, it is in ice. In normally oceans, lakes, rivers and ponds, like in water, liquid state. In the atmosphere as water vapor, as we saw in water cycle. Then, this is very important, listen. Anomalous expansion of water. Anomalous means very peculiar, different, expansion, how it takes. Let's see. When matter is heated, what happens? We know that it expands. And again, when it is cooled, what happens? It contracts. So water will behave in a very unique way. So how? When water is cooled from very high temperature, it will contract till 4 degrees centigrade. Means when water is cooled from very high temperature to 4 degrees, it will contract. Again, if we are trying to cool still below 4 degrees, what happens? It will expand. Actually, it should contract, but it is expanding till 0 degrees. Means from 4 degrees to 0 degrees, it is expanding. This is called anomalous expansion of water. During this expansion, what happens? The volume will increase and the density also increases. So what at 0 degrees, what happens? Water freezes into ice. We know that. So ice is very less weight, less dense than water. It is lighter. So what happens? We can see ice will float on the water. Why it is important in our nature? It is very important in nature because in cold regions, what happens? Water all freezes in winter. So in the water at the surface of the water body such as lakes freeze first. On the surface layers, first it will freeze and ice will float on the top. So when it is blocking underlying water, downside water, it will prevent from freezing. So water below the ice will be always liquid. It will not become ice so that aquatic organisms can live very safely. So because for this purpose anomalous expansion is important in our nature. So in ice, see, arrangement of molecules will be there. Like in liquid water like this. Then so 2 hydrogens, 1 oxygen.